Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name is Trine. I'm a self-taught ceramicist from Denmark. I'm no expert, but I will show you everything that I've learned. I am the founder of Kio Ceramics. Some of you may know me from my Instagram profile, Kio Ceramics, and if you're from there, then thank you very much for following me into the universe that is YouTube. I really appreciate the support. And if you found me in here, then thank you so much for giving me a bit of your time, because I just like sharing this passion of mine, which is making ceramics and pottery. If you're starting out and want to learn something about how to make ceramics, then this is definitely a good place to be. I am sharing all the things that I thought was very hard when getting into pottery. How to do glazing, how to do shaping, how to do all the different techniques that there is to pottery. So I'm sharing all of what I've picked up. I'm sharing with all of you guys, and I hope you like it. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how you can get a glaze result like this using brush-on glazes. And I'm gonna let you in on a few tips and tricks as to how to get success with using brush-on glazes. There are some do's and don'ts that are really nice to know before you get going. So let me know in the comments if you like the tips and tricks, or if you have anything else you'd like to share with me. I'll go through everything, and please subscribe and help me grow this channel. That would be awesome. I really appreciate all the support, so thank you, and let's get going.
In order to get this drizzle glaze design, you don't want the lower part of your cup to be glazed. Therefore, I recommend that you use regular painter's tape to cover this part. Any type of masking tape will do just fine. Hereafter, you can start glazing. The glaze that I'm using is the one called White Glossy Stoneware Glaze from BOTZ brush-on glazes. I apply 2 even layers. It's very important when you use brush-on glazes that you do even coats. And a little tip is always to let your piece dry just a little in between each layer. This is to ensure that the glaze gets nice and even. Otherwise, it might not suck up as much glaze in the parts where the glaze hasn't dried out before you apply another coat. Another thing is always remember the rim. A second tip is always apply the second layer in a different direction. So here with the first layer, I applied it sideways, and the second layer I applied it from within and then outwards. And here the same thing on the outside. The first layer is applied going round, and then the second layer, I'm just waiting a bit, and then I can apply the second layer in another direction. This ensures that you don't get any stripes and that all areas are covered evenly. The second layer I used for this cup is the turquoise granite, and I have this little test tile where I can always see what the colors are going to be. But when using these brush-on glazes, you need to stir up the glaze nice and evenly before applying it. The consistency needs to be like cream. If it's thicker than cream, I recommend that you add a little bit of water and then stir it up so that it gets the right consistency. For the third layer, or the third glaze, I used the one called patina, and here you can see it was a little thick to begin with, so I added some water until it had the right consistency. And I just applied a stripe like with the other two glazes. And last but not least, a very important glaze is the BOTZ+. The BOTZ+ is an effect glaze that you can add on top of other glazes. For this one, I almost always use the fan brush because that applies a nice and even layer. When using BOTZ+, it's important to only apply one layer and an even, not too thick layer. BOTZ+ makes the glazes underneath, makes them run, and it changes the characteristics of the glaze. It changes both the color and kind of the texture, and it makes it more shiny. It's just, it's a wonderful glaze, but it can be tricky. If you apply it too thick, then the glaze will both run and it will crack, and it will no longer be food safe. So just one layer. Here I'm just peeling off the tape. It's important to peel off the tape while the glaze is still moist, because this will give you a very sharp edge. As you can see here, it's kind of sharp, and if you can see also the thickness, here it's a little thicker than what I would normally do if I didn't want drizzles. So making drizzles is about knowing your glazes and knowing how thick to go for them to actually drip. If I made it a little thinner than this, then the line would be completely sharp and even. But with this one, I made it a little thicker, a little under a millimeter in thickness, and it gave me these wonderful drizzles. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this one.